We're with Martin Biron, and Marty, the NHL trade deadline a little more than a month away. It appears the Oilers are going to be buyers and the Leafs will be sellers. So if Edmonton could pluck one player off Toronto's roster, one that could be available, who do you think would be the best fit?
Well, yeah, obviously that's the caveat, right? One that would be available. I think they'd want Austin Matthews or Rielly Nylander, and let's pick those guys. But one that would be available, a UFA, a potential UFA at the end of the year that can play a lot of different roles. For me, it's Scott Laughton. And Laughton is a $1.5 million contract, so it's not a big cap hit when you look at trying to fit the player under your cap. He's a UFA at the end of the year. And down the middle, when you look at the Oilers, they got McDavid, they have Draisaitl, they have an injury to Adam Henrique, and he's going to be out a while. So you're saying, okay, can we mix and match somebody that will fit as a third-line center and maybe would be better suited as a fourth-line center if and when Henrique comes back? I think that Scotty Laughton would be perfect for the Edmonton Oilers. So, yeah, you know, the Oilers can go out there and swing for the big names if they want to. I don't think they have the cap flexibility, and I don't think that really fits what they need to do. I think a depth piece like Scott Laughton for the Toronto Maple Leafs would work really fine for the Oilers.
Okay, and when you look at the standings, Marty, there's not a big gap between these two teams. With a win tonight, the Leafs would actually be just 1 point back of the Oilers. But, of course, the Oilers are taking aim at a third straight trip to the Cup final, while the Leafs, they're way out of a playoff spot. So, really, how big is the gap between these two teams?
There is a big gap because it's about perception. What did you think the Oilers were going to be? The same thing that they always been. They're top 3 in goals for per game, and they're 23rd in goals against per game. So you're saying the Oilers are what they are, and maybe they catch lightning in a bottle again in the playoffs, and Connor McDavid leads his team to another Stanley Cup Finals, and maybe they win it this time. So they are what we thought they were going to be. The Leafs, on the other hand, they've regressed, right? Last year, they were top 10 in both goals for and goals against. Well, this year they're 13th in goals for and 27th in goals against. They were in the top 10 last year, and they've dropped all the way to 27 goals against. So you're looking at that and you're saying that is far from the identity that the Leafs needed to have this year. So that is why, despite the fact that they could be very close in the standings, it's still a long distance from what we thought they were going to be, the perception, their identity. The Oilers are what they were, and they are who they are. The Leafs, they can't seem to find their identity, and defensively, they have not really filled in the role that they did last year.
Yeah, the standings don't always tell the story like you just did. Yep. And MoneyPuck calculates the odds for teams to make the playoffs. What's wild is, despite being close in total points, the Oilers have an 82% chance of making it in, while the Leafs, just a 7% chance.